Hey, what's good, fellas? So recently we got some huge news about a trade centered around Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie Irving, so I thought I'd just make a quick video about it. The Celtics sent Isaiah, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, hopefully I pronounced that right, and the Nets 2018 first round pick, which is unprotected. Everyone has been saying, or at least everything I've seen so far, is that the Celtics basically got robbed. Statistically, Isaiah had a better season than Kyrie last year, and then the Celtics throw in even more guys too. That sounds crazy when you look at it that way. Some of it was to match salaries to make the trade work, but at first glance, it looks like they gave up way too much. In this video, I'm only going to be looking at the Celtics side of the trade and explain why it's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. I do agree with the general consensus that the Cavs won this trade, but I think it was actually a good trade for the Celtics too, and let me tell you why. At the end of the video, if you don't agree with some of my points, let me know in the comments, and we can talk about it. 1. Isaiah would have wanted a huge contract next summer, upwards of $30 million a year, which Danny Ainge most likely did not want to give him. Even though he's been the heart and soul of this team for the last 3 seasons, giving someone who's 5'9" a huge contract like that when he's gonna be 29 years old next year, it's not really a good idea. Especially since Isaiah's game relies mostly on athleticism when he's driving to the paint, drawing fouls, and stuff like that. Nobody's sure if his body is gonna hold up. Kyrie, on the other hand, still has 3 years left on his contract, so the Celtics have him locked up for a while. Throughout the season, Isaiah has dropped subtle hints that he was looking for a huge payday, and my guess is that Ainge was very hesitant on paying him. So instead, he went for a guy like Kyrie, who's also 3 years younger, has more upside to improve, and as an individual player, he's around the same talent level as Isaiah anyway. 2. The Celtics have way too many small forwards anyway, so giving up Jay Crowder isn't very game-changing. Yeah, I know Crowder was arguably their best defender on the team after they traded away Avery Bradley, but the Celtics had way too many players who play the same exact position. Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Morris, Jaylen Brown, that's 4 players, and for all of them, their natural position is small forward. It seemed like the Celtics want to give more playing time to these younger guys in Brown and Tatum next season, and trading away Crowder would help them do that. Crowder has also been known to be somewhat of a drama queen on social media, as there's been numerous times where he complained about the fans not respecting him. There was an incident just last season when Boston fans were chanting Gordon Hayward's name in Boston, and Crowder felt disrespected by that. Next season, if Crowder was still on the team and got benched behind Hayward and the others, it might lead to some issues in the locker room. Defensively, the Celtics took a step back, but they still have some good defenders on the team. Marcus Smart is still there, and I think Brown's defense is very underrated too. 3. We have no idea how good Ante Zizic or Brooklyn's 2018 pick are gonna be. I've watched a little bit of Zizic in the EuroLeague and in the NBA Summer League, but there wasn't enough to tell me that he's going to be an amazing NBA player. As for the Nets 2018 pick that they also gave up, it's possible that it could not even fall within the lottery. A lot of Eastern Conference teams are going to be really bad next season, and I don't think many people realize it. There's a chance the Nets could actually make the playoffs or at least get pretty close to the playoffs with the roster that they have now. So that pick might not even be that high or have much value. Teams like the Pacers, Magic, Hawks, Knicks, Bulls, or maybe the Pistons could all possibly be worse than the Nets next year. We won't know until the season starts, but Zizic and the 2018 pick are obviously the biggest wild cards in this trade. If they end up being really good a few years down the line, then it's gonna look bad for the Celtics in hindsight. But throughout history, we've seen plenty of young players with high potential never put it all together, and it happens more often than the other way around. And 4. Isaiah's hip. Some people might have forgotten about this, but Isaiah suffered a hip injury in last year's playoffs that forced him to sit out the last 3 games of the Eastern Conference Finals. At the time, nobody really thought it was that serious. It's not like he tore his ACL or anything like that. But hip injuries are actually one of the worst injuries you can get in basketball, and sometimes players never fully recover. For a guy like Isaiah, who relies a lot on his core and hip strength to make up for his lack of height, it wouldn't be surprising if he never returns to form or never has another amazing season like he just did. And according to a few reports, Isaiah's hip was a significant concern for the Celtics front office, so definitely played a role in the trade. If Isaiah was fully healthy and there was nothing wrong with him, I don't think the Celtics would have pulled the trigger on this trade. They probably know something about the severity of Isaiah's injury that we don't. And that's my take on the Celtics side of the trade. I think the main question marks in this trade are Zizic, the Nets 2018 pick, and how serious Isaiah's hip injury is. But the Celtics do have a history of making good trades, especially under Danny Ainge. So maybe they evaluated the situation and realized it was the best way to go for their future. Let me know in the comments what you think of this trade, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.